But as the sky grew bleaker and the air chillier, the search was called off. They had one good clue though: the orange bicycle, which the police could tell wasn't some average Schwinn. "This bike is special to somebody," Dexter said. "We gotta find out who it is."
Breaking news.
The darkness was disconcerting. Tom was lying face down in a cold, damp dirt tunnel. It was around 5 p.m., 6 hours since he'd fled from the cops. With the sound of trickling water in the distance, Tom inched backward until his feet emerged just above the creek bed. He stood up, waist deep in the frigid water, then looked and listened. Nothing but the gentle noise of the creek. Hours earlier, as the orange Stillman tumbled through the brush, Tom had slid down the embankment, crashing violently through the leaves. While Officer Dexter was awaiting backup, Tom trudged 50 feet upstream and took cover underneath a bridge, where he discovered a 2-foot-wide hole at the water's edge. It looked as though a beaver had burrowed deep into the creek bank. Tom crawled in headfirst, thorny plants scratching his face and arms, and squirmed 11 feet to the narrow tunnel's end. Panting in the dark, he heard sirens, then faint voices and the jingling of dogs' tags. Tom assumed that was the end. But soon, he accepted what seemed a miracle. The cops had given up the search. It was dark outside when Tom emerged. He made his way to a high school parking lot and hid behind a dumpster there to change into disguise he'd used during the robbery. With his messenger bag over his shoulder and his wallet to his ear, he walked down Main Street talking animatedly, pretending to be on the phone. 2 miles away, Tom found his yellow 1983 Mercedes-Benz and drove to his apartment in Oakland. Tom was looking shaggy when he reached the apartment. His roommate, Marty, noticed something wasn't right. He asked him if everything was okay. Tom replied that he just had a rough couple of days, but was good. He shut down his bedroom door. Two months earlier, Tom had moved into Marty's 2-bedroom apartment. Of all the respondents to Marty's Craigslist ad, Tom was easily the most appealing. He'd shown up to their first meeting wearing a blazer and collared shirt. Charmingly upbeat, Tom said he was a cyclist who had once trained for the Olympics. He didn't have a job, but he offered to pay the first 3 months' rent upfront and in cash. Marty, a 6'5" opera singer from Brooklyn, wasn't looking for a new friend, but he found one in Tom. During the week, Marty would cook dinner at his George Foreman grill, and they'd watch movies in his sectional coach. On the weekends, they'd have party at clubs. Marty knew Tom was snorting cocaine recreationally, but he was unaware of his other vices. At night, Tom would drive his Mercedes near Auckland's empty shipyards. It was easy to find dealers. Tom would hand over $300 for 12 crack rocks. On the highway, he'd light his pipe and turn up the volume on melancholic electronica like Massive Attack's Teardrop. He'd smoke crack for hours. The drugs dulled his senses for days. He knew getting sloppy would get him caught. In early 2002, a pattern emerged. Smoke crack, stay sober for 1 week, rob a bank, celebrate with more crack. After the botched robbery in Walnut Creek, Tom brooded in silence. He was anxious about the cops, but also deeply disappointed in himself. A bank robber who gives away the money can claim a certain nobility. Dillinger was branded a folk hero for rebelling against the system. But Tom had devolved into a petty thief, stealing quick cash to cop drugs. Days after his close call, he told his roommate he was leaving Auckland forever. Marty inquired what was going on, but Tom refused to talk. Soon after, Tom and all his earthly possessions were hurtling east across Interstate 80. The landscape was a blur of snow-capped peak punctuated by occasional gas stations. Looking out across the empty highway, Tom considered his future. He wouldn't discover the extent of the forces conspiring against him in Walnut Creek until many years later. But he knew one thing. Those cops were going to find the steelman, which meant that sooner or later they'd trace it back to him. It was only a matter of time.